everyone. It's Miss Vinnie, and I am here with my dear friend and fellow heart transplant recipient, Venita Turner. She is also a patient advocate from Cincinnati, Ohio. And this month is Heart Month. Actually, it's National Heart Month.
Yes.
And I thought it very fitting to catch up with Venita and see what wonderful things the Lord has done for her since we last talked. So, welcome to About Transplant Life, Venita.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
You are very welcome. So, remind me, how many years post transplant are you now?
It was 2 years as of December 8th.
Wow. So, how has it been for you? Any challenges? Tell us what's going on.
So, excuse me, it's been smooth sailing pretty much. So, before I had a transplant, I'm a lifelong asthmatic. So, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, and right now it is 10 degrees. And
Oh my
so,
goodness.
I, and so
Girl,
what's
I don't know
happening?
nothing about no 10 degrees.
I
I
know
can't
you
even
don't.
imagine that.
I know. So right now, the only problem I'm having is when I go outside, I get short of breath because of the cold air. It takes my breath away. And I feel
Mhm.
like it's gotten worse since I had the transplant with the cold air. So it looks like I need to
Really?
go move where Miss Vinnie is, obviously.
Come on in
Because I was in
California.
Florida last week and it was 65 degrees during the day. And then like Monday when we came back, it was like 45, which is a wasted Florida trip to be in that kind of temperature in Florida. That's a wasted trip. But anywho, some great things happened. I got a big donor for my nonprofit while I was there. So
Okay, so wait, tell us about your nonprofit. It's called The Beat Goes On,
yeah, so
right?
after my transplant, I started a nonprofit. It's called The Beat Goes On, and it's a house that provides housing to heart transplant patients who travel more than 40 miles from Cincinnati, Ohio to get their transplants. So to date, excuse me, I have housed two people. I actually have a lady there right now. She came last week. She got her heart 2 weeks ago, and
Oh.
she and her caregiver will stay for 30 days. They stay to do their appointments because they have to go back to the hospital like 3 days a week to do post-op things. She's going to get blood every other day, and then she got to get a biopsy ever so often. So it doesn't make sense for them to have to drive back and forth 3 4 hours, and then the expense of a hotel. So
Yeah,
that's what we
it's
do. So
expensive.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah. So we are it's called Gregory's house. So Gregory, for those of you who hadn't seen or heard my story before, I got the heart of a guy named Gregory Vanover. So the house
Oh.
will be called Gregory's house. So it'll be in his honor. And I actually met with a builder. I'm meeting with two more builders to get two more quotes. When I just tell you I could jump up and do a herky if I could, but look, I'm so excited because it's happening. Um,
Yeah.
I told God this was your thing when I took my hands off of it because I was like, He gave it to me in a dream. I tried to manipulate it and do it the way I thought. And I said, okay, everything I was doing, it wasn't working. So I said, God, this your thing. You do it. And when I tell you He's been doing it, I mean, it's
Amen.
mind blowing how fast. I was telling this guy, he said, how much is it going to cost? And I said, well, this is the amount that the builder said he built it for. And he told me, he offered me more than that, 3 times more than what I was asking for. He said, me and my friends want to be a blessing to you, and they have the money, and you have a great cause. And I was just like, who does that? Oh, what?
See,
Like,
God will send people in your path to bless you. He promised that He would.
he
Until you
did.
put your faith to work and you believed Him and you stepped out on faith
Yeah,
and you started being obedient and doing what He
yeah.
told you to do. When He says ask, you ask,
You
and
have
you
not
shall
because you ask
receive.
not. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
I
that's
am
what
so
I've been
about to
doing.
start. Yeah,
So
that's
I'm so
amazing.
excited. Oh, and so let me tell you about tonight. So tonight, so Network for Hope. That's our donation center here. It used to be called Life Center, but here it's now called Network for Hope. They have a basketball game at the University of Cincinnati, and they're talking about me. So I get to go out on the basketball court, and guess who I'm taking with me? The man
Who?
that put my heart in.
The,
He's
the
going
the
with me.
surgeon?
The surgeon, Dr. Robert R. Dowling, is going with me tonight. I'm gonna be a
Wow.
wet mess. You know, I'm gonna be crying all night.
Oh
But
my
he's going with me.
goodness.
My husband's going. The vice mayor is going, and her husband, and one of our office people here. He's going with us, and we just, man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. They said we want to bring you on the court and tell your story and talk about the nonprofit. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So I called Dr. Dow and I said, you want to go on a date with me? So I saw him yesterday. They did a heart walk at the hospital. And he said, we got a date tomorrow, don't we? I said, absolutely, we do. And so everybody was like, well, why didn't you invite me? Why didn't you invite me? And so I was like, let me tell you something. I thank God and I thank this man right here. Because if it wasn't for God and him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So yeah, he
And
gets
your
to go, you
donor.
don't,
And
you
your
know.
donor. Yeah.
So he's
Those
going
three
with me
worked
tonight.
together, didn't they? And gave
Yeah,
you a second chance at
absolutely.
life. That's
Yes.
just beautiful. So let me ask you something. What advice would you give to those who are waiting for a
Mm.
life-saving heart transplant and their families? What advice would you give them? How would you encourage them?
So that's funny. The lady that's there now that we're housing right now, I was talking. I've been walking. So what I do when they the social workers give them my information, and then they reach out to me, and I always go over to the hospital. I meet the patient. I meet their caregiver, and they sign a participation form. And and I tell the person, why are you waiting? I tell them, believer or not, because everybody's not a believer. Believe it or not, you know, stay in a place of positivity. I mean, you can
Yeah.
do that if you don't even believe in something. You know how to be positive or negative. And a lot of times, like this lady that I'm serving now, she's like a PhD. She's real smart. So those patients are the worst patients because they're so smart. I mean, I said,
Yeah.
you got to get out of your head. Because when
Yeah.
I was over there with her before she got her heart, I mean, she's had some serious heart stuff going on, and she's so daggone. She knows too much. Sometimes you can be too smart. Like you
Yeah.
can know too much. And but like I told her, it's so funny. Like I think I'm pretty smart myself, but I also know that everything that I knew that God, we got to go with His plan.
That's
And so
right.
I kind of sneak in a little guide on them a little bit and see where they stand. But my main thing to tell people is you have to stay in a place of positivity. And if you're real smart like she is, I told her less is more for you. Let your caregiver get all the knowledge, get all
Mm.
the stuff, everything. Because that's what I had to do. I told him, don't tell me nothing. Tell my
Yeah.
husband. And I'm going to sit over here in this place of positivity and what I believe God's going to do for me. And that's where I'm going to stay. I don't want to
That's
hear
right.
about how many people might die in the transplant or have died. I don't want to hear it because
None of
that's
that.
not going to be my testimony. We're going to sit
Absolutely.
over here and we're going to wait on this heart and it's going to be a good heart. That's what we're going to do.
That's
So,
what we're gonna do. You just
yeah,
gotta let go and let God
that's a
have
hard thing to
his
do, though.
way,
That's
like
hard.
they say. You really
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Because you never know how the Lord is gonna bless you.
that's right.
And you can spend all of your time thinking of scenarios and situations and circumstances, and you just blocking your own blessings.
Yeah,
And so we just really have to learn how to trust in God. That is
yeah.
great advice.
And for the caregivers, I mean, if you can find a support group, TCH has a support group with George Cecere. When I tell you
Yay,
that
George.
man is caregiver extraordinaire,
Yes,
and
he
he
is.
has great tips for caregivers. Because I can tell you, we can be a piece of work. I'm gonna say we, because I was a piece of work. Because in a normal life before transplant, I was a goer. Every time I'm going, doing, and then you have to sit down and let people wait on you. And it's like, I got it, I got it. And my husband's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, we fighting about who's gonna do what. You gonna sit down and I'm gonna do it. And I mean, don't do that, people. Like, please don't do that because you make it harder for the people that are trying to care for you.
That's true.
So just submit. My word of the day for patients and caregivers to the patient, submit.
Submit. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Submit. And be compliant, right?
Woo, baby. Ooh,
Those are the words of the day. Submit and be
baby,
compliant
baby. Yeah.
and trust in the Lord. So
Mhm.
thank you, Venita, for joining me today. I'm so
It's
happy
so
to
good.
see you.
I know it's so good to catch up. We got to catch up offline or whatever, but yeah, I got
I
some
know
stuff
I
coming
might
to
come to
you.
Cincinnati, but it's too cold.
Look,
Miss
do
Vinnie
not
ain't
come
coming
here
to
now.
2 degrees, girl. I
Come
don't
in
know nothing
June.
about